This is probably the most important YouTube video I have ever done. I've talked about this topic before, but if you understand what I'm going to talk about today and make the connection that I'm going to talk to you about, your entire financial future can be changed. Out of all the questions I get on social media, the number one that I get in the comments, in the DMs, on the videos is how to find private lenders. Who are private lenders? Now, when I say the word private lender, you're probably thinking a few different things and they may or may not be right. You might be thinking the mob or somebody like that. You know, it's Uncle Joe that's gonna kick your kneecaps in with a golf club if you don't pay him back. You may be thinking of a super rich person that's $10 million in the bank. You may be thinking of a company. You may be thinking of a scammer online, and all those are false. Private lenders are working professionals that have a little bit of extra money because they've worked for a few years and they want to diversify their investments. It's usually somebody in their 40s or 50s that's working a professional W-2 job that has some extra money that they want to take out of the stock market or borrow against their IRA or borrow against their 401k and diversify their portfolio. They're not somebody that has millions of dollars in the bank. In fact, they probably aren't even using the money they have in the bank. What they're doing is they're borrowing from their investments and giving it to you to invest in real estate for a safe return backed by real estate. More on that later, but it's just normal people. It's usually maybe your parents' neighbor or your friend's boss or your friend of your friend or your friend that you just haven't asked yet. They are all over the place. There is more private money out there than deals by far. So you can find private lenders, whether it takes you 2 weeks, 2 months, or 2 years, it is worth the pursuit because finding just one private lender will open the door to endless investments, allow you to put cash offers on things with no contingencies, allow you to buy more, make other people great returns, and then also, once you get one private lender, people that have money usually hang around other people that have some extra money, so your kind of name starts to grow and people like to brag about their investments and how much money they make, so your name will start to get passed around and you will have people calling you to give money. Why do you need private lenders? Well, you need private lenders for the short-term part of a real estate investment. When you invest in real estate, the way that I teach it and most people do it is you find a distressed property that needs to be purchased in cash. Now, the reason banks don't do this, because I get asked this all the time, is why don't you go straight to the bank, or why don't you ask the bank for the money, or if you're keeping it as a rental, just have the bank do the mortgage at the beginning. Because banks do not want anything to do with distressed properties. A bank will lend you money on your personal property that you're living in, or a bank will lend you money on a property that is fixed up that a tenant is living in and paying you rent. They do not want anything to do with properties that are distressed and need work. It's just too risky for them. They don't want to be in that space. Now, eventually, maybe they will lend you a little bit in that space, or you can do a line of credit against another property. But let's not worry about that. In general, 99.9% of you who are starting out, a bank will not fund your initial purchase of a distressed property. Now, there are hard money lenders. We'll talk a little bit about at the end, and I'll give you a tip and a pointer like I talked about earlier. And I'll give you an introduction that I talked about earlier to a national hard money lender, but private money is the place you want to be if you can. All right, on to how to find private lenders. Finding private lenders is not near as complicated as you think. If you pick up your phone and text all the people you know, or call all the people you know that you think have extra money, and it takes you a couple days and nobody offers you any money and you give up, well, maybe real estate's not the thing for you, because it takes time and effort and energy and you talking a lot over a long period of time about real estate. Ways that I know people that have found private lenders is posting on social media, not saying, hey, give me money, but just talking about real estate. Hey, I'm investing in real estate, looking to do more deals this year. If you or anybody you know has some extra money they want to invest, let me know. Or just posting about deals in general. I know most people get private lenders just by posting about their deals on Facebook, and their grandma saw the post and they talked to their grandma's neighbor and she talks to their son who just got a promotion at the work and he's looking to diversify. Or something along those lines. It's usually somebody of somebody's network. It's usually not a direct connection. Sometimes it is, a lot of the times it can be, but you want to talk about it on social media. When you're out at the bar with your buddies, you want to talk about real estate, and maybe one of your buddies' dad has some extra money, that he wants to invest in real estate, or he's taking out of the stock market because it's doing this like crazy and nobody thinks the stock market's going to be great over the next couple of years compared to what it has been. So there's opportunities everywhere you go. At your fantasy football draft next year, talking about it. When you're at a family function, talking about it. When you're at work, talking about it. Just talk about real estate. And I know that sounds simple, but I promise you that will end up paying dividends. If it takes you a few months, like I said earlier, or it probably won't take you a few years, but if it takes you a few months, you will get the money. I literally just had somebody, it may be popping up on the screen, it may not. One of my students in the mentorship messaged me saying, I was talking about private lenders and I just had somebody offer me $400,000 to $500,000 and I'm overwhelmed. I don't know what to do. He literally was just talking about it with no experience, and somebody offered him $500,000 or up to that to invest in real estate, because most people with money are usually intelligent, and intelligent people understand that real estate is a great investment and is a great way to make a lot of money. Even if people don't want to actively invest in real estate, a lot of these people, as I said earlier, are professionals with professional jobs that are demanding because they make good money and are busy. They don't want to spend the evenings and weekends finding deals, rehabbing deals, finding tenants, approving tenants. They don't want to do that, but they want to get a piece of real estate because they understand the power of it, and you are the connection for their interest in real estate or understanding of the importance and power of real estate and actually investing. You're the gap, and they will invest in you, and we'll talk about why here in a minute and the possible returns here in a minute for them, but it is just a safe investment for them, because I don't know that many people, well, with my people I hang around, I don't know anybody that thinks investing in real estate is a bad investment. So basically just talk about real estate, and the money will find you. You can do it intentionally to try to raise money, or just in general talking about it will bring people that will bring you deals, will bring you money, will bring you contractors. The more you talk about it, the more of everything will come your way. Kind of one of those law of attraction things. The more you talk about it, the more it will come back to you. Private lenders are no different. On to how to get the private lender's money. So let's say you've done the things I've talked about and you've got a meeting with a private lender, or you're having a conversation with a potential private lender. How do you talk to them? What do you say to them to let them give you their money? I would just open it up with a professional conversation. No matter where you're meeting or what you're meeting about, I would bring an agenda on a sheet of paper. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, just a 3 or 4 bullet point agenda that shows them that you're professional, that you put this into thought and context, and that you are taking this seriously. And then I would probably have some type of business plan. Again, can be a half a page, can be 1 page. It can just be maybe your goals over the next 5 years. Just show this person that you're meeting that you are serious about this, and you have somewhat of a plan or a direction to take this meeting, and then hopefully take their money in, so they're not just writing you a blind check and saying, go with it no matter what you're doing. So this just gives them a comfort level up front. Then I would get into conversations about their current investments, the stock market, the volatility of the stock market in general, the lack of control, and just let them know that you're not looking to take all their money. If they've been working for 25, 30 years, they maybe have, $500 million, $2 million in investment accounts and a 401k. You're not looking for all that. What you're looking for is you're looking for $100,000 or $50,000 or $200,000. You're just looking for a portion of that to diversify and prove yourself, along with giving them a solid return. And after that, you can talk about growing your money, but don't try to just get all their money and all their investments up front. Just come at it with a realistic and conservative approach. I'll tell you here in a minute some things to tell them specifically that will ease their mind and allow them to be happy and open to giving you money. So once you have this conversation, you kind of set the table. These are the 4 things that you can tell them that will make them feel secure and safe and happy about giving you their money. Number 1, just let them know that they will be on the insurance policy listed as an additional insured, meaning if the property burns down, they have claim to that insurance money. The check will be written out to you and your business and them as well. So there'll be no red tape if, something happens at the property, and an act of God or a burning down or something happens, it gets broken into, something that happens is covered by insurance. They are listed on the insurance certificate. It's super easy. When you set up your insurance on the property, you just tell your insurance carrier to list this person or this LLC, however they're lending you the money, as an additional insured. That should just give them a little bit of ease of mind that if worst case happens, they are on the hook to get the money back as well. The second thing is you're going to probably sign a promissory note, and it is just a note that lays out the terms of their investment. Here, after I talk about these next three, I'm going to talk about some actual general terms that we've used with our private lenders, and you can use as well, because a lot of people don't know exactly the terms that their private lenders get, and they hear a lot of different things. But you're going to sign a promissory note, a legal document that your LLC, hopefully you're buying in an LLC, promises to pay them a certain term over a certain period of time. So it's a legal document saying that you are going to pay them back. The third thing is having a personal guarantee, and this is probably the most important in my mind. You can sign a personal guarantee. They're super easy to find. Just look them up online or talk to a lawyer, or this person that you're borrowing the money from may have one. They're super simple. They don't have to be, mixed with a bunch of legal mumbo jumbo. Just saying that you personally guarantee that you're going to pay them back above and beyond the promissory note. That's between you and your LLC and them. This personal guarantee is you putting skin in the game, because some people say, why would they lend you money if you're not using any of your own money? Well, A, you probably don't have it, but B, you're saying, I am going to pay you back no matter what. Now you can formulate this, as loosely as you want or as tightly as you want, but you are personally guaranteeing that you're giving them their money back. So up to this point, you're saying they're additionally insured, you are offering them a promissory note, you're personally guaranteeing their investment, which no other investment they're going to have does. Their stock market investments don't do that. Their 401k doesn't do that. Their crypto doesn't do that. Any other type of investments that they have don't have those three things. And then the fourth is you can allow them to have legal ownership of the property. They can put a lien on the property or be listed on the deed as a partial owner, that then once you pay them back, that will be lifted. So you are literally almost giving them a savings account type of security on an investment that is probably double-digit returns. So obviously play with those terms, look them up online. I don't want to make this a 40-minute video and go into detail on every single one of those things, but those four things should give them a huge sense of security and make them feel very, very comfortable and excited about giving you some of their money. All right, on to the terms that most private lenders get, and then on to that national resource I promised at the beginning. So most private lenders get 8 to 12% return, and that's annualized. I don't want to make this a whole math equation because that's not my strong suit, but 8 to 12% annualized, meaning if they lend you $100,000 at a 12% return, that is $1,000 a month that they will be making. So if they have the property out with you for 4 months, they give you $100,000, you give them back $104,000 4 months later. You do not give them back $112,000. $12,000 gained on $100,000 in a 4-month period is way more than 12%. You can back that down to 8% or 10%, wherever they're comfortable. Anywhere from 8 to 12%, I think, is a home run for you and them. Over time, you can negotiate that down, but just getting them in the door and giving them a good return, I would start it out at 12% and not even try to negotiate down, because you should just take that into account in your deal when you're making your purchase and running your numbers. So 8 to 12% annualized is pretty common. All right, on to that national connection I talked about. I recently started Faster Freedom Capital, which is a national hard money lending company. It's not private money, but it is hard money, and it's a great resource. The terms are as good or better than private lenders. There's a few more hoops and regulations to run through when you're dealing with hard money, but go to fasterfreedomcapital.com if you want to learn more about that. It obviously doesn't cost you any money to go check it out. Now, if you're a student in my mentorship, you get a discount on that actual interest that you're going to be paying, but either way, it's a good resource for you. Always be looking for private lenders. Find a private lender. If you have a choice between a private lender and Faster Freedom Capital, choose a private lender. However, if you don't have a private lender or you need more money, I would definitely consider Faster Freedom Capital. I would check that out for sure. So if you learned anything in this video, you were entertained at all, you laughed at me because I'm not as eloquent as Hormozy or any of those kind of guys, make sure to give this video a like. I invest in real estate all day, every day, and I'm teaching you things that I learn on the fly, taking anything the market throws at me, any new investment strategies, and telling you about them. So make sure you're following me here on YouTube, subscription, notification bell, all those fun things, and across all my social media platforms, which I'm pretty much on all of them. Check out the description below for any people that I use or things that trusted partners that I use in my current businesses. With that being said, see you on the next one.